Today we're going to talk about how to graph quadratic equations in Vertex form. A little different than what we did with standard form, but it is actually a little bit easier. Okay, so remember that the parent function of a quadratic equation is y equals x squared. There are key features that you need to remember. The axis of symmetry is the line that splits the graph in half. Okay, so we have that vertical line there, the red one. And then the vertex is the point at the very top or bottom of the parabola. Those are the two things that we need to find that'll help us graph, and that doesn't change when we get to vertex form. What does change is how the equation looks. Okay, so in this equation, notice we have parentheses with a square there, and there's a couple numbers on the outside. So the axis of symmetry comes from the inside here. We always change our sign when we're doing that. And then remember that from standard form, whatever we find for our axis of symmetry also goes into our vertex. And then this number, we don't change the sign, we just bring it straight down. So remember, always change the sign of the number from the parentheses, which is your h. One other thing, if a is positive, it opens up. If a is negative, it opens down, and that's going to help you with your graph a little bit. Okay, so we're going to graph an equation in vertex form. To do that, we're going to start by finding the axis of symmetry and the vertex. And this is actually similar to what we did in standard form, but it's a little bit easier. To find your axis of symmetry, all you're going to do is look at this number on the inside of your parentheses and change your sign. So the axis of symmetry is going to be a positive 3 since we're changing our sign there. I'm going to go ahead and draw that in. Okay, the vertex is also really easy to find here. So remember that number from our axis of symmetry is going to stay the same. And then this number here is going to be our y value. So I have the point 3, 2 for our vertex. So that's our first step. Second step, we're going to make a table just like we did in standard form. So remember, if I'm starting at 3 and I step over 1, I end up at 4. And if I step over 1 again, I end up at 5. I need to plug those in to find the y values and then plot those. Okay, so we're going to do 4 minus 3 squared plus 2. And I end up getting 3 for an answer. Just like we did, please put that in your calculator and save yourself some time with calculations. Okay? Then we're going to do the same thing with our 5. We're going to do 5 minus 3 squared plus 2. And I end up getting 6 here. Okay, again, plug that in your calculator. Okay, so those are my 3 points. Remember from standard form, all we have to do is reflect them to the other side. So there's the other half of my parabola. I'm going to go ahead and draw that in. Missed that point there. It's close. And there's your parabola. Definitely a lot faster than standard form, but it's not always going to be in this form, so we need to know both ways. Okay, let's do 2 more, and then we'll do some guided practice here. So same idea. Going to change the sign here, so we have negative 4. I'm going to put my table over here. Okay, so there's my axis of symmetry at negative 4. Okay, then to find the other part of my vertex, I'm going to go ahead and take this number, so 4, 3, and plot that. Now I'm going to take 2 steps to the right. So step over once, I get negative 3. Step over one more time, I get negative 2. And we're going to go plug those in. So negative 3 plus 4 squared plus 3 gives me 4 for an answer. Okay, type that in your calculator. Make sure you understand how I got that. Okay, then we're going to plug in -2. So -2 plus 4 squared plus 3, that negative should be on the inside, gives me 7. Okay, now if I reflect those across the other direction, I have a point here and a point here. There's my parabola. Okay, one more time. Some colors here. Okay, first step, in my table to find my axis of symmetry in my vertex, I'm going to change my sign of this number. So +3, and that gives me my axis of symmetry. If I plug that +3, if I look at my other part here, I have a -2. So my vertex is at 3, -2. Now, take a step to the right. I'm at 4, and then one more step to the right, and I'm at 5. Now we're going to plug those in. 4 minus 3 squared minus 2 gives us -1. And 5 minus 3 squared minus 2 gives us 2. So I have -1 and 2. Okay, we're reflecting those across. Look like this. Okay, notice all the equations we've done so far have been positive up front, like there's not a negative sign in front here. So that's why all of them have opened up. Okay, go ahead and try these guided practice problems. When you finish, let us know, and we will check them to help you out if you need it, and give you your homework. If you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to raise your hand and ask them. Tomorrow we're going to do a little bit more graphing. We have one more form. And then on Thursday we're going to review everything together before taking a quiz on Friday. If you have a question, say something. When you finish, let us know. Have a great day.